Tipping off the dime, it's the Bulls or Raptors that claim that last ticket to the NBA's postseason party. The Heat and Bucks vying for 5 in the East. The Mavs and Jazz want 2 in the West, while the Suns continue to scorch and Durant guns for a scoring title. It's time for the dime.
Taken by Blake. He's got people coming. The lob inside. Oh, me, oh my! The lob from Blake. Portland Express right there. Oh, that was nasty.
And welcome to the Daily Dime. I'm Jim Basquall. The final night of the regular season had plenty of teams still playing for playoff positioning, and in the Bulls and Raptors case, just playing to get in. With the postseason a win away, the Bulls were downplaying last month's confrontation between Coach Vinny Del Negro and Vice President of Basketball Operations John Paxson. In a statement released before their game at Charlotte, GM Gar Forman confirmed there was an internal disagreement that was the result of each expressing their passion about the well-being of players and the desire to win. That desire had one last test, with Chicago controlling their playoff destiny on the season's final night. They win and they're in, but a loss and a Raptor victory pushes Toronto into that opening round matchup with the Cavs. Let's see how it played out. There's Vinny Del Negro. His Bulls can clinch a playoff spot with a win over Michael Jordan's Bobcats. And Kirk Hinrich missing from 3, but Joakim Noah there to tip it home. Chicago up at the break, 57-43. Let's take you to Air Canada Center north of the border to check out how the Raptors fared with the Knicks. Andrea Bargnani was certainly good in that opening half. They swing it to the Italian, who's doing it from deep. He had 18 first-half points. Toronto up at the break, 73-64, so they keep the pressure on Chicago, head back to the south. In Charlotte, third quarter, Bulls up 7. It's Derrick Rose missing inside, but getting his own board and putting it home. Bulls up 75-65 after 3. They're 12 minutes from sealing a postseason spot. So let's head back to Air Canada Center and see how the Raptors were doing against the Knickerbockers. And it's Bargnani, this time a giver, finding Jose Calderon, who's stroking the corner tray. Toronto hit for 100 in the third, up 14 after that three-pointer. Later in the fourth, DeMar DeRozan around Danilo Gallinari on this throwdown. He had 24. The Raptors put up 131 points to keep hope alive. Chris Bosh, a spectator, his team still alive, but Rose would have none of it. A fourth quarter, Chicago up 13. He's doing it from downtown. Derrick Rose playing terrific down the stretch. Had 27 on this night. Bulls up 16. Then it's Noah finding Kirk Hinrich, and he too is sealing the deal with a corner tray. The Bulls clinched that 8th and final spot in the East, 98-89 winners. They get LeBron and the Cavs in the opening round.
It's not about me, it's about the players. I mean, they go out there and I say players win games. I'm very proud of the way the guys have hung together all year through a lot of things, and obviously we have a huge challenge, but I think it's just time to give these guys a break, for a day and just, let them enjoy this a little bit because they've earned it.
No D-Wade, O'Neal, or Haslam for the Heat as they close out the regular season with the Nets, but they had Michael Beasley, who sends this alley-oop home. Miami was up 8, Beasley 25. Under a minute to go in the game, Nets down 2. It's Josh Boone on the finish, even at 76 and on to overtime. In the extra session, Mario Chalmers had a shot at the game winner, but he's off the mark from 3, so we head to a second overtime. In that second extra session, Yakuba Diawara banks it home from beyond the arc, his only field goal of the night. Miami in double overtime open the playoffs with the Celtics, while the Nets suffer their 70th loss. Although the Nets avoided the worst mark in league history held by the Sixers in that 72-73 campaign, they did join some dubious company this season. Just the 5th team in league history to lose at least 70 games in a single season. Doc Rivers didn't play Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, or Ray Allen in the regular season finale against Milwaukee. Third quarter, that's Brandon Jennings with a baseline jumper. It gives the visitors a 1-point lead. Later in the fourth, Jerry Stackhouse for Luke Ridnour, who is 6 of 6 from the floor. This three, part of a 17-point night. It gave Milwaukee a 93-80 advantage. Later in the quarter, they move it around with Stackhouse again, a giver, this time for Dan Gadzuric. The Bucks, they are playoff bound as well, and they close out the regular season with a 106-95 victory. Here's a look at the East bracket now that the seeding has been finalized. If the Heat had lost, they'd move down a spot and play the Hawks in the opening round, but instead they get the Celtics. That might not be a good thing, as Boston swept 3 this season from Miami. The Hawks will now host the Bucks, the winner getting that Orlando-Charlotte winner. The Western Conference had just one series set in stone as the defending champion Lakers will begin defense of that title against Kevin Durant and the Thunder. But Dallas had a shot at wrapping up the 2 seeds. San Antonio and Portland were all locked up for 6th. Phoenix had a chance to move up to 3rd, while Utah could have ended up as high as 2 and as low as 5. The Jazz get the Northwest Division title with a win over the Suns, who again had plenty to play for themselves. Let's take you to Salt Lake City for a game that was oozing with meaning.